Thomas. Thomas.
Good evening, Dr. Francis.
Good evening, Amanda.
Welcome. Sorry, we're just trying to wait a bit for other people to join in. Welcome. We welcome everyone that just joined. Welcome, welcome. We're sorry, we're just waiting a bit for some other people to join. In 2 minutes' time, we'll be starting. Thank you.
Hello, Amanda. Just to be sure, this meeting is being recorded, right?
Yes, it is.
All right, thanks.
Welcome to everyone that just joined. Sorry, we're having a slight technical issue, but it's been sorted out. So we'll be starting any moment from now. Good evening, everyone. I want to apologize for that delay. We're having some technical issues. Please bear with us. So, good evening. distinguished guests, and potential investors. My name is Obi Amanda. I'm the head of HR at B2Me Africa, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all to this important pre-seed funding stage. Tonight, we're going to share our vision, present our investment model, and explore opportunities for Collabo as we tackle one of Nigeria's most pressing challenges, the power crisis. We are excited about the transformative solution we are offering through Collabo.ng, a product of B2Me Africa, and the opportunities it presents for you as investors. Now, why are we here today? We all know power supply has long been a critical issue in Nigeria. In fact, every single Nigeria has had their fair share of this. If you were to go randomly and ask any Nigeria what they would want Nigeria to give to them, I'm sure a lot of people will mention steady power supply. The good thing is that solar energy offers a solution by giving people more control over electricity and providing steady power supply. However, the high purchase and installation cost of solar system remains a significant problem. We are here to present our solution to this. Now, what's Collabo.ng? Collabo.ng is a product of B2Me Africa, a financial service company established in 2017 with a 20 million share capital. B2Me Multipurpose Cooperative Society is a fully registered and licensed company under the Cooperative Law of Nigeria under FCT, and Collabo.ng leverages on this certification for her operation. The name Collabo is a popular slang. It's from popular slang we normally use in Nigeria. It's coined from the word collaboration, reflecting our mission to bring people together, to pool resources, invest and grow wealth collectively. At Collabo.ng, our work aligns with the overarching vision of B2Me Africa, that is to empower individuals by leveraging financial instruments to create wealth, foster economic growth, and add lasting value to their life. Our specific mission at Collabo.ng is to create a vibrant community where individuals collaboratively invest in diverse opportunities, sharing profits and driving sustainable growth. Through our innovation, we are committed to creating an inclusive investment platform, attracting a diverse range of members, from students, business owners, to professionals, retirees, and even foreign investors, all seeking viable investment and financial growth. It is now my honor to introduce Mr. Edmond Mose, the CEO of B2Me Africa and the team lead at Collabo.ng. Mr. Mose is a visionary leader with a reputation for integrity, dedication, and a passion for innovation. He has a remarkable ability to foster collaboration and inspire teams toward meaningful goals. With his expertise in financial services, he has driven initiatives that empower individuals to achieve financial growth. Under his leadership, B2Me Africa and Collabo.ng are creating innovative investment solutions while addressing Nigeria's energy challenges. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Edmond Mose. Over to you, Mr. Edmond Mose.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Amanda, for the introduction. My name is Edmond Mose, and I'll be taking us through this investors meeting and the partnership pre-seed funding stage. I'm so sorry that we had a little setback due to some technicalities, but we're going to try our best to catch up on track. Okay. I would be presenting, just to be sure everybody's seeing my screen. If you can just give any form of emoji or any notification. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So all right. It's no news how much power, or should I say, energy is very important in our everyday lives. In Africa, sub-Sahara region to be precise, we have over 600 million people that finds it difficult to access reliable energy. This has actually presented or positioned solar energy in the forefront, making it a reliable source of energy alternative. Upon research, Murdoch Intelligence has projected the solar energy in African markets to have a compound annual growth rate of 13.2% from 2023 to 2030, pardon, with Nigeria having over $600 million in market capacity and an annual growth rate of 15%. Most individuals are becoming interested in the solar energy market, pardon. Most individuals are becoming interested in this market, and the government has also made it easy for individuals to import solar energy materials or these facilities by introducing a duty-free imports charge on these materials. The African Development Bank also speculates that solar investment in Africa yields within 20 to 35% annually based on ROI, making it outperform the regular traditional investments. Now let's look into Nigeria's power sector. In the year 2024, Nigeria experienced epileptic electricity supply due to the multiple collapse of the national grid, leading to total and some cases partial blackouts. The continuous increase of electricity tariff from time to time, even with the most recent we are having in this year 2025, the federal government has increased or approved to increase this tariff again by another 66%. Although solar energy happens to be, it has an initial, let me use the word, massive procurement and installment cost. However, it is seen as a cheap source of energy because an average solar system lasts a minimum of 10 years. So with that, in the grand scheme of things, it can be seen that it's actually a cheap source of energy. With a lot of people diving into this sector now to make sure that they have more control over their electricity supply. So this brings me to this point. We are not here to discuss Nigerians' electricity issues. Neither are we here to discuss how this change is going to happen. But we are here to actually discuss the fact that the solar energy seems to be a problem. The procurement of this solar system seems to be a problem to majority of Nigerians, especially the ones that are interested in acquiring this facility. Permit me to introduce our model. We call it the SOLARVEST project. For the past few months, my team and I have been working around the clock, making partnerships and reaching out to individuals to make sure that we come up with a perfect model for this problem statement. Okay, and I'm introducing here Collabo SOLARVEST. Collabo SOLARVEST is an initiative by collabo.ng to connect partners like you to solar energy projects, in turn getting high rewards as a form of compensation, and also impacting or making contribution into the Nigerian solar system, solar energy company. In collabo.ng, we are welcoming visionary investors to our first phase of SOLARVEST, where we seek to raise a sum of 30 million naira with an initial investing capital, with the minimum investing capital, pardon, of 100,000 naira. In SOLARVEST, partners are projected to benefit a lot. I would only mention a few, ranging from the returns. Our return here, we have over 31%, depending on the capital and the duration of investment. This is quite high when compared to the likes of mutual funds. I will be using mutual funds in comparison because what we do in collabo.ng is similar to that of mutual funds, but the difference is very, very clear. In collabo.ng, SOLARVEST precisely, we are working with direct impact investment, pardon. This investment is our investment in collabo.ng is backed up by an actual solar project. So it's not based on market response, neither is it based on behaviors from some business trends. And in as much as you have facilities, you have products to back whatever we are doing, it presents little or no risk. What I'm referring to here is that in anything that we are doing in collabo.ng, SOLARVEST precisely, we have physical assets to back up this project. I would like to introduce how SOLARVEST works. In SOLARVEST, we have two structures per se. The first one here says save to own, while the second is pay small small. In save to own, individuals that are willing to get this solar system save a particular amount on a monthly basis until they reach their target, then this solar system will be installed for them. While pay small small, in pay small small, members of collabo.ng indicate interest, and having gotten their desired solar system, they make an initial deposit of 30%, minimum of 30%, and the remaining principal, the remaining capital, and the interest of 7% on reducing principal. What I mean by reducing principal is, as they make payments on a monthly basis, their interest will be dropping because their principal is also dropping. Okay, so in pay small small, we give these solar materials, this solar system, to individuals interested members, after they've gone through our vetting process and they are successful, and make their initial deposits of a minimum of 30%, which could be more. And then the rest spread across whatever duration of their choice, but a maximum of 12 months. SOLARVEST is only open for people that are income earners, and that is, to be precise, salary earners or business owners. One way or the other, you must have a stream of income that can be traced or vetted properly. And we are currently operating in these locations: Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Enugu, and Benin City. As every other business, there are definitely risks and mitigations. We have carefully gone through the risk, and these are the most confronting risks, and we came up with certain mitigations to them. In the case where an off-taker defaults, the necessary mitigations include assets recovery, to be precise. Whenever an off-taker defaults in making payments, we only give a grace of 1 week. That is the model we designed, because repayment needs to come in every month. So we give a grace of 1 week, after which we come and uninstall this system. And at the process of uninstalling, there is no form of refund that is given to this off-taker. So therefore, we are not at any loss. And like I mentioned initially, this solar system has a lifespan of 10 years. So it can be given to another off-taker upon the need, whenever the need arises. We also make sure that, like I mentioned initially when I was breaking down the structure for Pay Small Small, that off-takers will pay a minimum of 30%. It could be more. So this can also stand as a collateral. That is what makes this structure, this model, unique. And they go through proper vetting system. When vetting these off-takers, we run them through the credit bureau. We run some credit assessment check through the Credit Bureau of Nigeria, and if they qualify, we go further to get a bank statement indicating their income flow and also their bank verification number, BVN. In the case of operational risk, these facilities are insured. They have a warranty that covers them. And we also intend to have a monthly inspection of this facility wherever they are installed, to be sure that there is nothing wrong and no one is tampering with anything. And lastly, we partner with reputable solar companies to get this job done. In this case, we have an existing partner with Panac Energy. Panac Energy is a solar installation company located in Lagos. Finally, under the finance aspects, I know most people might be wondering, is my funds secured? And to be sure that they get it back, we are going to be insuring every asset, every facility bought. And we are working with the CFC insurance company here in Nigeria. So what are we waiting for? I would encourage everybody at this point to invest in SOLARVEST. If you're interested in investing with us, you can contact us through our email, our phone number, or you can visit our office at Suite D3, Wanu Plaza, Ibrahim Waziri District, Gudu District, Abuja. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mose, for that insightful presentation. I guess we are all clapping in wherever we are seated. So now we are opening the floor for any question. Please feel free to ask for clarifications or share your thoughts. Thank you. All right, Dr. Francis, please, we'll take your question or clarification. Dr. Francis, you're muted. Okay. While we are trying to reach Dr. Francis to unmute himself, does any other person have anything to say? Any question? Any? Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Francis. Okay, I just got through with Dr. Francis now, and he's having some issue with um his laptop. So he's going to drop his comment on the chat box. Can also do the same if we don't want to speak out with the you can just drop your comment on the chat box and we'll read through and address. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Onyinye. So Onyinye is asking, is the investment a one-time thing or do we have the opportunity to invest in phases? Is the investment a one-time thing or do we have the opportunity to invest in phases?
Okay, yes. Thank you very much, Onini, for your question. The investment is a one-time thing, although this particular SOLARVEST in particular has different phases. The actual structure of SOLARVEST is for members to come together to invest. All right. Of collabo.ng is for members to come together to invest in various projects. But then, since this is our pioneer phase of SOLARVEST, we are welcoming investors and using this opportunity to convert these investors, or should I call them partners, into members. And at this point, we can boldly call them pioneer members. So yes, the investment is done once, is done in one stage, but SolarVest have so many phases. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edmond. Onyinye, do you need, okay, I think she's clear. Thank you very much. Okay, we have another question from Onyinye. Are you looking to expand to other states in Nigeria to facilitate this loan? Are you looking to expand to other states in Nigeria to facilitate this loan?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we're looking to other states. We're looking into other states to expand. Um, Although we decided to work with these 5 states, there's 5 cities to be precise, so that we don't do or chew more, bite more than we could chew, pardon me. But as every other business wants to grow and scale up, we are equally looking at the same thing. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Onye, please, I'll need you to signify if you're clear.
Okay, hello. I don't know if my mic is okay now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Francis.
Okay, yes, thank you. I had to struggle to make the mic work because my questions are like in phases. Yes, I followed closely your presentation. Very wonderful, very clear. But I want to be sure, which I know I'm speaking for most of the investors that want to invest hugely, because we need to be sure of the process before we can commit our funds to something like this. The presentation was wonderful. Now, I'm looking at the model of that of MTN Lumos. How, despite how big MTN was, they were not able to handle the pay small from customers, and they had to now resort to paying in full. Now, I know that our dividends will, yes, after investing, our dividends will be invariably dependent on the success of the company being able to handle forms of payment, as being able to adequately receive people's payments. So now my question now is, if the company installs the unit in somebody's house, let me say Mr. A's apartment, I believe they are the one that will take care of the installment, so they know where their device is. But should Mr. A now decide to leave and move to another location, yes, he has been paying consistently, and then he finishes because the MTN zone, students will come, they have steady income, they come for short stay, and then circumstances will make they change location. So when they change location now, do you have the capacity to monitor where your device is? Because they change location, they take it and go along with them, and that is all. So do you have the capacity to monitor where your devices are? Because if that thing is not there, then that's a very big loophole. So I just want to get clarification on that first. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Francis, for this question.
Yes.
Yeah, we plan to monitor these facilities, these devices as we install. Aside the fact that we will go on a regular check and inspection of this facility, this is not just, it's not a device that can be easily moved. In the case of MTN Lumos, the facility was quite portable. Okay, but in this case, you're talking about batteries and panel that you would actually need vehicles to move around to get it out. But regardless, while doing our vetting process, we are also going to get acquainted with this individual's workplace, either their businesses or where they earn their salary. So regardless of anybody trying being dubious and any other form of fraudulent activity, we would make sure that we get these people down to where they work. And I think to a great extent, this is kind of like the best cover we can have, aside the fact that these facilities would also be insured. So it has covered from every corner.
Okay, that's just the part I wanted. I think I'm clear. Other things are clear. Thank you so much. And more grace. Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Francis. Thank you, Mr. Edmond. Okay, we have some questions here from Ekene John Paul. The first, you are expecting to raise 30 million, right? From how many people? What is your staff strength at the moment? That's the first question. I'll read it again. You are expecting to raise 30 million, right? From how many people? What is your staff strength at the moment?
Okay, thank you very much for the question, Ekene. Yes, we are targeting 30 million to go for this first phase. This first phase of SOLARVEST is supposed to facilitate the solar system in 10 homes, a minimum of 10 homes. Although the number of people that we aim to get this from is not certain. It could be from one person, it could be from 5 people, it could be from 10, 20, as much as possible. Like mentioned during the introduction, Collabo.ng operates as or uses Bitumis Africa cooperative license to operate, of which gives us the ability to absorb as much people as we can. So, in as much as we are receiving them as investors, they are also potential, or should I say, pioneer members. So we can have as much as 100 people investing in this, as much as 5,000, 100,000, as much as possible. It's just a community that keeps growing. And our staff strength at the moment, as a startup, we are at 8. We have 8 staffs working with us at the moment. Although upon the commencement of this project, we intend to grow larger. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Edmond. Please, Mr. Ekene, I would just like you to identify if you've been cleared or you want further clarification. Okay, all right. So over to the second question. What is the distribution of staff per state? How are you going to track the solar system? Also, do you intend to get the credit rating of potential beneficiaries? I'll read it again. What is the distribution of staff per state? How are you going to track the solar systems? Also, do you know or do you intend to get the credit rating of potential beneficiaries? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the question again, Mr. Ekene. Currently, we are operating in 5 states. And in these 5 states, we have operating officers in these locations. These operating officers are the highest in command, or should I say, the highest in ranking in our various locations. However, in our main office here in Abuja, we have 4 working officers. Okay, that brings us to a total of 8. All right. And secondly, your second question, okay, how are we going to track the solar system? Like I replied, Dr. Francis, we intend to track this solar system. There are certain devices that are installed along with the solar system that can help us not necessarily track, but control the energy consumption of this facility. Let me explain. While installing, this device is just installed with it. And in the case of defaulter, we can just turn it off remotely without coming to the facility physically. We can turn it off remotely first. This is like a warning statement. And if we don't get this payment, we visit them physically to uninstall. However, there is no practical, or should I say, no design to track if this facility is being moved. But like I mentioned when I was answering Dr. Francis, these facilities are not really portable like we have the Lumos, MTN Lumos Energy. It's not really portable that you can just move around or take it and move easily. Okay, but it's really bulky. It's something that the panels, for instance, are very, very large. It's not easy to move around, and even the solar system, the inverter and the batteries. Okay, so yeah, these are the best we can actually do to track the solar system. And we also, like I mentioned during the presentation, we are going to get the credit ratings of these beneficiaries through by running a credit assessment check, through the credit bureau. All right. So if they have any outstanding loan or outstanding credit facility, we won't offer them this because it would reduce their tendency of payback. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edmond. Mr. Akene, are you clear or do you need further?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think typing is quite stressful. Thank you for the answers to the question. The the challenge, and I like to be as practical as I can because then it helps the team also go back and rethink a few things. So I think that um you need to find a way to track where the investments are, right? So maybe a tracking system that is embedded into maybe the inverters or whatever it is. There has to be a way to track so that once you open a laptop or you open your big screen from the office, you can know exactly where those devices are. If you're not able to do that, you're just setting yourself up for potential heartbreaks within a few months. So that's the first thing. The second is insurance would only cover, at least to the best of my knowledge, you can correct me if I'm wrong, will only cover issues that relate to natural disaster, like things that are not what's the best way to describe this now? Things that are not of your own making, right? If a customer decides to elope with this investment, I'm not sure an insurance company is going to cover for that. I'm not sure. And I like the assumption that these things are quite movable, are quite difficult to move. But in the real sense, they are really not, right? I'm thinking, for example, a proper solar system you're thinking about 3 million per one based on your calculation of 10 homes, right? So um 3 million would be potentially six panels and inverter batteries. Those things are not difficult to move in the real sense. They're not. So there needs to be a way to check that those things are there remotely without even going to those places. And there needs to be a way to put those trackers in places where they are difficult to reach, where like it becomes your insurance. People you are selling it to don't even know that you know that those things are there. More like insurance, just like more like putting a tracker on your car. Nobody would know where it is, but it is there. So that would be that would be one important comment I needed to put. The other thing I was going to mention is, I think it is very important to define quite early who the audience would be. Credit bureau would not do the job. It will not be enough to do the job. So you need to be able to say that these are the categories of people you are looking for, and within those categories, this is how you intend to vet them. Credit bureau will not be enough at all. It would not. Because people may have credits. People may have credits that are not bad credits. For example, if you see a lot of successful businesses in Nigeria, they have credit facilities that are running. So if you say that if they have any credit facility somewhere that they would not be eligible, that puts you away from people who are potentially going to be able to pay. But you have to think about people who have the capacity to pay, and who are going to pay based on a credit history, or based on antecedents, right? Usually, if you're in the market, they would say get a guarantor, or go to the market association and get feedback on this person, do sort of background checks on this person. But if you don't want to open yourself to those kind of things, you need to decide on what kind of people can I take at this point that I'm starting up? What kind of people do I not intend to go to at all? Right? If we don't do that, and if you open it up to every and anyone, remember, for example, it is success of this 30 million put on the table that then gets you to expand to more than 10 homes. If out of the 10 homes you put 2 defaults, that means you've lost about 6 million, meaning you're not then able to expand the way you need to. So I think these are just the loopholes that I think that needs to be thought about and figured out. Again, I think that the number of states they are setting up with is too much because of the staff strength, right? I would advise you you do a test run, for example, for maybe 6 months, 1 year, see that it works in one state, and then expand to another. Because if you don't have a staff strength that are able to not just monitor but also muscle, because then there is the part of muscling. If you're going to do loans, you then need to have muscles. If you don't have those muscles, and your muscles become the police, then you're going to spend a lot of money paying the police to get people to pay back the loans they have taken. So you may need to reduce the states that you're thinking of at this point, so that you test run, and then put it somewhere that are not difficult to access. Like, for example, if you have just one person in Port Harcourt, right, and you need to enforce, I'm thinking that this Port Harcourt person who is the lead would then have several other people. You're expanding your operational costs. A lot of things that are not super good for startups, right? So I would say reduce the number of states, get proof of concept, and then with that model that has worked in a particular state, you then delve into another state. I think even if for the first 1 year doing Abuja alone, you're able to get 10 homes in Abuja, with people who are potentially going to be able to pay. If you say Port Harcourt, I'm sure you're going to get 10 homes in Port Harcourt. People who are potentially. If you do Lagos, Port Harcourt, then it puts you. And of course, the insurance are going to get, for example, tracking them would then become national coverage, which are very expensive. I'm sure they're quite expensive, even for cars. They're quite expensive. So that will be my comment. Sorry, I took a lot of time, but thank you.
Okay. No, thank you very much, Mr. Ekene. Okay. We still have Dr. Francis is raising his hand.
Yes, mine is more comments again. Yes, in line with what Ekene have just said, because my major concern is your model is very good, but the aspect of this tracking I talked about, and Ekene have really emphasized on it. and I'm happy about it. But alternatively, this is what you can just think. This is it's another suggestion, because how it is done here in most of the advanced countries, you don't need to stress yourself in trying to recoup your money. All you need to do is that this is what you want to sell, and then you are able to sell it. So if you can now possibly liaise with a small microfinance bank that can give loans. So all you need to do is just encourage people to buy. Then once they want to buy, all you need to do is now reach out to the microfinance bank, and then the microfinance bank give the people the loan what the amount they want to pay, and then so the microfinance bank will be the one handling the recouping of the money and everything. So all you need to do is just somebody wants to buy, yes, because of that you facilitate his loan with a microfinance bank, and then his loan gets accepted from the microfinance bank. The microfinance bank pays you your money in full. You are done with that person. And then, so the person is now left with the hands of the microfinance bank to see how he can, complete his loan and every other thing. And so that's another way in just trying to make sure that you are safe in all of this. So this is a point to think about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Francis, for that. I'm going to be passing the mic to Mr. Edmond for any other comment.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Ekene. Thank you so much, Dr. Francis. I get a lot of concerns coming up with when it comes to do with people's funds and how to get it back, because now we are involving third party into this. All right. But though I did not should I say expound on this when giving this presentation, let me start with Mr. Ekene's concern when he talked about how do we check their credit worthiness, that the credit bureau will not cut out for it, like would not work this at all. The truth is the credit bureau would only give us their credit score, will give us their credit percentage or their potentials to it. But then we also are doing some extra checks on our own end. In as much as some individual might have some good loans, some good credits, they are not bad credits. And if we rule them out, it's that we are ruling out potential markets. The only thing the credit bureau would help us do is to give us a track record of how this person has been paying so far. And someone that took a loan and paid has more tendency of paying back again. All right. So definitely the credit score would tell us that. And I mentioned that we are also going to assess their income. What I mean by that is by providing their bank statements, we get to run their income flow. Say, for instance, someone that is making ₦1 million monthly, we are not going to give this person a facility that would make him pay up to 800,000 naira monthly. Rather, we will do it in such a way that we are working with a 30% credit facility on a monthly base. That is to say, this person would be placed on a repayment program that would make him only pay as much as 300,000. That is in the case of 1 million monthly income. So we are believing that even if this person is on any loan or credit facility, that would not be so much of a burden. Or should I say, if the person have any other engagement, financial engagement, 30% out of his income would be a workable sum. However, also bearing in mind that there is an initial deposit made already, an initial deposit of about 30%. Now, that 30% is not fixed. It could be more than 30%, but 30% is minimal. All right. So I don't know. I believe that has cleared your doubts when it comes to the credit worthiness. And for the amount of states that we are working with, the truth of the matter is we are working with just 10 homes. It's sounding like this is so much to handle at a time. But one person being assigned to 2 homes is not so much. However, when it comes to, let's say, recovering this asset, if the person defaults, of which our model has guaranteed us up to 85% of compliance with any off-taker that we are working with. That is, if we do every check and everything that we are meant to do before we give out these facilities, it's guaranteeing us up to 85% compliance. However, in the case where there is a defaulter, having known that this defaulter has already overpaid, he has actually paid more than he has utilized this facility, to be sincere, and we want to recover, it will not take us so much as to get the law enforcement with us. In quotes, it might look like this is more operational costs, but in entirety, it's not. Because if this person has paid over 50% of the value and decided to default or is no longer interested, and we are coming to recover these assets, I want you to understand that we have made 50% on this particular product. And when we go to install with another off-taker, it's bringing a fresh 100%. I believe this is clear. So this is just me giving you a bit of the model to make you understand that this is practically, there is a very tight, should I say, system we are working with, your operating, to make sure that we do not experience things like this. But even if we experience it, we still have some ways to go about it to make sure that we are not in the losing end. I would not know so much to address the insurance system of Nigeria or how it works, but at the end of my comments, I will be leaving the floor to my the head of financial department to give a response to that. Okay, and lastly, I am also going to take into consideration what you mentioned about the tracking device. Although it's not, we're advised against tampering or opening this facility, but for the fact that these are people's money, and it's not a small sum we are talking about, then I think it's worth a go. So we could actually install these tracking devices inside the inverter itself, where it can be concealed properly, and we will be able to track this device on the go. All right. So I would also let me say something concerning what Dr. Francis mentioned about outsourcing the likes of microfinance banks to help facilitate this. Although that is a very easy way out, it's very straightforward and it helps. However, the way a microfinance bank operates is actually the way we operate. Like mentioned when we were introducing Collabo.ng, it was emphasized that it is a product of B2Me Africa, and B2Me Africa is a financial service company. This microfinance bank is also a financial institution. So it's more like saying we collect or we take a loan from the microfinance bank and in turn give it out again as a loan. It's either we have to increase this interest that the off-takers will have to pay at the end of the day, we'll increase it so much that it will be unbearable, or you would go back home with practically nothing. So that is why we have decided to work within our system, to work as a community to get this done. All right. So I will be leaving the head of finance department to just give a little talk on how this insurance works, so know how we go about from it. Oh, so sorry. I think the head of finance just had a little technical issue. So I would rephrase the question again that Mr. Ekene asked concerning the insurance aspect, or the statement he made, paraphrased. He was addressing insurance as though it doesn't cover for things like theft, I would say, but barely natural disaster and unplanned events. So can you please clarify this for us?
Okay, so good evening, everybody. So, insurance right now in this modern day and time is more on the terms you and the insurance company come to. So we have something now that is called the credit life insurance. This thing covers the whole life of the credit of the loan. So if we give out this these solar loans to our potential off-takers now, the value of a total installation, let's say for instance 3 million, if we install 3, if we insure the amount of 3 million with an insurance company, say Jais Takafu for instance, they what they understand is that we've given out a loan for 3 million and they've agreed, given the terms that we will agree with them, to cover this loan for say 1 year. So anything that happens, if the off-taker fails in any way to repay that loan, they will be liable to indemnify us. Another one we might decide to do is to insure the asset itself. That's the solar equipment that we're going to install. That one will not cover if the person fails to repay anyway, but it will cover if maybe it's stolen or it is damaged.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bernard. Thank you. Um, in addition to what Mr. Bernard mentioned, or should I say, to throw more light on what Mr. Ekene was commenting on when it comes to this, the insurance aspect, he mentioned also that the costs is quite alarming in this case. Can you also say something about the cost of this insurance?
Okay, so the credit life insurance right now with Jais Takafo is 0.05% of the sum. So let's say you want to insure the sum of 3 million for credit life, you are going to pay 0.005 times 3 million. That's 15,000 naira. That's the amount you're going to pay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bernard.
You're
That's
welcome.
all from me. That's all from us.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edmond, Mr. Bernard. Does anyone have any other question or any comment? We would be rounding off soon.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for being with us from the beginning to this point. I would also want to announce that um, this meetings for this meeting for the pre-seed funding stage would be repeated next Saturday and the subsequent Saturday after it. SOLARVEST is set to launch on the 24th of February. That is after the last meeting. So there is a span of 2 weeks for interested investors to become partners. All right. So that is all from my end. I really want to use this opportunity to appreciate your audience and your time here. Thank you for giving us your ears, and we hope to making a good partnership with you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Edmond. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We've come to the end of this meeting. Please have a great day or have a good night rest. Thank you.